Alright, we gotta talk about Law and what the heck he's up to right now. Where the heck is he? Or at least, where did he end up? Spoilers up through the first half of the Egghead anime. If you haven't watched or read up that far, then scroll on. So unfortunately, the last time that we saw Law, he was looking like this, being carried by Beppo away from an island called Winter Island, where of course we saw that he was clashing with Blackbeard. Blackbeard knew that if he waited on Winter Island, either Law, Kid, or Luffy was gonna wash up ashore. That would be his opportunity to steal the road poneglyph that they just got from Kaido. And unfortunately, Law was the lucky winner of that gamble. But we clearly see that Law did not die in this moment. Beppo was able to grab Law and get him the heck out of there. And we all know it's One Piece logic, so unless we see them buried in a grave, there's no way they're gone. So where did they go? Now, I've had my own headcanon that maybe they washed back up on Wano. I was thinking along the lines of, well, maybe he didn't make it that far away from Wano, and after all of this, the closest place for them to swim to would be Wano. And honestly, I've been thinking that Yamato's cover stories are eventually going to show us Yamato finding a really down bad Law and Beppo on the shores. And it would kind of make sense to have Blackbeard follow Law and Beppo back to Wano, because Wano has an ancient weapon under all of this. And who's got the Quake fruit? Blackbeard. In my opinion, it makes so much sense for Blackbeard to want to go to Wano specifically. Kaido has just been defeated, and I would assume that Blackbeard's not very scared of Momonosuke or Yamato. So if that's the case, Wano is a very vulnerable place. And if it's holding an ancient weapon that Blackbeard himself has the power to release, why wouldn't he go there? That part of the story honestly still holds pretty well, but I did find a piece of information while doing research for this video that kind of hurt my theory of Law going back to Wano. And that's this panel right here. In the moment where Law, Kid, and Luffy were debating on which direction they were each going to go, Luffy and Kid were busy arguing about Middle East. But Law was saying that he wanted to go northeast. And specifically right here, he says going northeast means that he moves the farthest ahead, which obviously means he's farther away from Wano than Luffy or Kid are right now. So Beppo swimming him all the way back to Wano at this point kind of doesn't make sense. So that leaves me in a conundrum. Where the hell is Law? The only other close options would be Egghead that, you know, is having a really bad time right now. And then Elbaf, which is where Kid just got demolished. So if I'm being honest, this is where I'm stuck. At this point, my best guess is Law is going to wash up on an island that we are currently unaware of. We had never heard of Winter Island before Law got owned there by Blackbeard. And obviously, there's a plethora of other islands in this world that we certainly wouldn't know of yet because they weren't important narratively. So that begs the question, outside of Egghead and Elbaf, where did Law end up? I don't know, you guys gotta let me know in the comments.